And welcome back. We're moving into our second segment for today, and we will focus on the celebration of the 25th anniversary of the Mexican Cultural Institute and their run in Belize. And joining us for this conversation, we have the cultural attaché, Diego Sapién, and we also have artist Yaoling Lee.
Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for the invitation.
Now, Diego, let's start off just talking a little bit about how the Mexican Cultural Institute came to be in Belize and how it has evolved with time.
Well, the Institute was opened on the 17th of November of 1993, 25 years ago. It was inaugurated by a very important Mexican diplomat, Ms. Rosario Green, who was also the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Mexico. So it was a project that was done around the world. We have 11 Mexico Cultural Institutes. Belize is one of the lucky cities or lucky countries that has one, because we have cities in Madrid, New York, Washington, Miami, Paris, Madrid, and also Belize. Belize and Guatemala, it's being border countries. It was a big important impulse for culture in the 90s that it was done. So it was created, all of these Mexican institutes. Mexico felt the need to promote the Mexican culture and the Mexican patrimony around the world. We have a vast cultural heritage since the Aztecs, Mayas, and also contemporary, also manifestations of art, that the Mexican government felt the need to create those institutes around the world. Here in Belize in particular, it's also not only the Mexican Institute, as our ambassador says, it's also the Belizean Institute. So we also include in our cultural program that we do around 35 or 40 activities between 3 and 4 during a month. We include at least once 3 months an activity with local artists, because the infrastructure in Belize does not exist. A cultural institute per se in the Belize city, and as we have it at the Mexico Cultural Institute. The Museum Belize serves mostly for a permanent collection, and it serves another purpose or another need for the public, for the cultural offer that it's for the events or the offer that the Mexico Cultural Institute does. So that's why we wanted to invite Belizean and local artists, and that's also what we are doing right now with the 2 events that are around the Mexican the activities around the anniversary of the Mexican Cultural Institute. That we're going to have a art exhibit with art alchemist, Ms. Yaoling Lee, a Belizean Taiwanese painter, has had the honor to be the creator of the show with 7 Belizean artists. And we also have on Friday the 501 Spoken Word Collective being at the Mexican Cultural Institute, and the main the featured artist there is going to be the Grandmaster.
Diego, if I may call you Diego.
Yeah, of course, no worry.
You have the best job ever, let me start saying that. You get to come to another country and experience the essence of that country, and to share the essence of your country with that country. That's the best job ever.
We're lucky. We're lucky to have this job. Yeah, I love it. There are some challenges, of course, being new to the country, being inserted in some society that probably you don't know. Challenging also with the not challenging, not as difficult, but to get incorporated in the cultural region or the culture or just the city, just to know the city, different personalities, different artists, different ways of their manifestation, personalities as well, characters. Artists are also have a peculiar way of seeing things, and you have to respect that. No, they have different times, but that's why a cultural promoter, or that's where we jump in, no, to help them or help each other, not them, but help each other to promote art for the public. That I think that is the main reason.
So, my question is, in terms of, I personally view Mexico as a good neighbor. Yeah. We've had good relations with Mexico. But in thinking about the commonalities, you have a very beautiful perspective because you can look at both. What are some of the commonalities in terms of culture between Mexico and Belize that you've experienced?
Well, the main cultural heritage that we share is the Maya heritage. There's Mayas in Yucatan, there's Mayas in Mexico. Also, there is a lot of music that we share. In Quintana Roo mainly, there are a lot of musical groups that go and visit Belize, and also Mexican groups come into Belize. There's always some 3 or 4 or even maybe more requests to help them cross the border, or each the other way around. Not only cultural activities, economical activities. No? Belizeans visit Mexico and go to the movies, go shopping. Even those are also cultural exchanges, not only in painting, not only also in the everyday life. You share that. So the border, no? I'm from Tijuana and being from a border town citizen
far
too.
Away.
It's far away, but there are many similarities in that exchange too. No? Tijuanenses or the people from Tijuana also went to the United States and consumed their culture, and also it was the other way around. So I think it's a bridge. It's a bridge. Culture is a bridge, and it's a way to reuniting people too.
How has the Institute evolved with time?
The Institute has evolved and had many facets of the Institute. We also, one time we did teaching of the Spanish language there. We had several other activities, mainly the last 3 or 4 years. As I say, we have been evolving to sharing also the Belizean manifestations of art. The Garifuna is now we celebrated from 2016 or before the Garifuna Settlement Day also at the Mexican Institute. So that is how we have evolved at the Mexican Institute, not only to share the Mexican manifestations of art, but also the Belizean and local arts as well.
Why choose Yaoling to actually come on board? What made her stand out?
Well, she's a great artist. She's a great artist, and she also she participated in 2 exhibitions last year with a collective from El Caimito from Mérida, from Yucatan. She participated in 2 exhibitions, and she approached the Institute, she approached the embassy and asked for a space to do an exhibition. So we jumped on the idea because, as I said, we wanted to incorporate Belizean artists in our celebration of the Mexican Cultural Institute, because it's not only Mexico that we share at the Institute. So we decided to have Yaoling at the Mexican Cultural Institute and to chair and to gather the artists and be the curator of the show, our Alchemist show that's opening
29. 29th Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday, this Thursday.
Yeah, Yaoling can explain a little bit more of that exhibition. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Diego. Thank you.
And Yaoling, let's start off by the name itself.
Oh yeah, that's interesting things.
Yeah.
Okay. It just come out one night, even before the. Well, first of all, I have to give thanks to Ambassador Gesnet, Ambassador from Mexico, and also Culture Attaché Diego also. Without them, this exhibition is not exist, won't be possible. So thank you very much. And they really have the best resources to put up a show, and all the support from them. I feel very grateful. And on behalf of my artist, I say thank you very much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now we'll come back to my event. The name is Alchemist. Actually, it's 2 words. 2 words, art and alchemy. You know, there's a book called Alchemist. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fascinating book. Yeah. And I just kind of like one night, it just popped up to my mind. If there's a show at Mexico Institute, what I'm going to name it. And actually, this show has been developing in a while. So it just come out like that. I think it's just an inspiration, the way how I work. And I say, well, I'm not a chemist. I don't play with those chemicals. So I play with ours. So I just put it together and become a word. It's not two separate, it's together. Alchemist. So yeah, I answer you. Did I answer you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes.
Are there themes that are running through this exhibition for you?
I'm the curator, and I have 6 artists going to exhibit with me, along with me. Total, we have 7 artists in this show. Valerie Penner, she lives in Cayo. Helman Raul Figueroa, he lives in Cayo. He just dropped his painting this morning, 6 o'clock.
They're fresh and still wet.
Work very hard, yeah. And Masani Lee, she lives in Cayo as well. Excellent artist who work
Weaving
with,
artist.
yeah, very
Weaves
great.
in jewelry.
Exactly, yes, thank
Hi
you.
to Masani,
Yeah,
yeah.
very excellent. They're all excellent in different way. And then is Keon. I think you know him, Keon Griffin. Yeah, George Griffin. Yeah, he's an excellent artist, very good, talented young artist. And then now we have, well, you should know this, men at work.
Terrible.
Artists, exactly.
Terrible good one.
Yeah. I don't need to say too much. You all know what's going on.
With Terrell. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have him. Yeah.
And then me. We are 7.
And Ilona, no?
Ilona, yeah, sorry. Ilona is a very conscious abstract artist. She's currently the curator. She worked at the Museum of Belize, and she organized and developed design exhibitions. I'm just a part-time curator. Yes, yeah.
How did you decide on the artists that you want to put in your art alchemy?
Well, this is the way how we work. We work with people that we understand, or people around you, and you think you can trust, and you think they're good. And then there's a time I needed more artists, so I put those posts, research on the social media. I said, I need artists, landscape artists. So that's why I met Valerie and Herman. They are the first that respond. And they send me their image of their work. Excellent work.
No, we have seen you live on this set. Do a masterpiece. I think you did.
I'm not good with words. I rather stand there and just paint you.
But will you be doing anything live? Will you be doing any painting live?
Would you want to see that?
Really,
if you go there, I'll do that.
We have a deal.
I'm serious. When I say we do it, we do it.
Awesome.
But you have to be there.
Well, I'll take up that challenge.
Yeah.
I only asked that because one of the artists,
Yes.
Terrell Godoy,
Yes.
became famous
Yes.
for actually painting live. He would go
Yeah.
on street corners,
Wow.
and he would do perspective art, which is standing at corners and having depth down. I wanted to ask this question to you, which is, art is sort of a powerful medium because it has no definition. We can appreciate the work and style of Yaoling, and at the same time appreciate the work of Miss Ilona. Is there a specific, for example, in terms of art and painting, is there a specific Mexican style, a classic Mexican style, and can you identify a sort of Belizean classic style?
Yeah.
I know you have Pen Cayetano.
Yeah, Pen
recently.
Cayetano, you have Benjamin Nicholas, and in a sense, Michael Gordon in a different style too. You could say Gilvano at one time, Mr. Musa, also.
Yes, sir.
Yasser. You have this like classical painters, as in Mexico we have this really nationalistic painters in Diego Rivera. Our three main muralists, that's Diego Rivera, Jose Clemente Orozco, and Rufino Tamayo. They were the ones that showcased or featured the Mexicanity, I say, in their works. You know? Also, Frida Kahlo stayed a little bit apart, but she also put a lot of Mexican items in her paintings too. There was a movement in the 60s that's called the rupture. They broke away from that national traditional paintings of the revolution, indigenous, flower sellers, etc., to break away and do more contemporary abstract that was done in the 70s and in the 60s and 70s in Europe, and try to incorporate that into Mexico too. So yeah, I see that also in Belize. In Belize you have paintings like Pen Cayetano that we also had at the Mexican Institute, that was he was also incorporated in our anniversary events, that he's doing paintings from 2018, from months ago, that depict a Hopkins well, for example. You don't have, I don't think that you have Pen Cayetano saying, I don't think that doesn't even exist anymore. You know, people in canoes and small boats. So yeah, I think those similarities are here in Belize with the way people, or the artists, express themselves.
Let me ask, because art is something, I think because you're talking about the rapture, one of the things that Yasser gained notoriety for was turning the idea of art on its head within Belize. I think he did a lot of installation kind of pieces and performance pieces.
And mixing media, no?
When you're talking about art, and people prefer to think about art as sometimes very pretty things, you know, depicting very pretty things. And when an artist is approaching the Mexican Cultural Institute, for example, is there a particular thing that you're looking for? Because people want the space, but they don't always feel confident that the space will be afforded to them. So how does someone like Yaoling actually approach you to forge a relationship and be granted that space?
Well, you can approach us. You can deliver your dossier, your informative brochure of your pieces that you have done. Normally, we focus more on collective exhibitions, not only individual painters. We do it too, but because we want to incorporate the more artists that we can, the Belizeans, to have a space at the Institute, we do that. We have in Mexico a general direction that reviews and checks all of our proposals at the start of the year or the end of the year, and we send that to them. If it's in the middle of the year, we send that to them, and there is a committee that reviews all of the work, or all of the works of artists, and they also have a say on what can and cannot. But if it has the impact, the social impact, and it could be a little bit digested by the Belizean public, with the help of us, of course.
So I think by now you might know that Belizeans live in the now, right?
Yeah.
I think about it now and I want it to happen now.
Exactly.
But there's a scheduling, is what I'm hearing from
There's
you.
There's a scheduling. If you have,
how much lead time?
It could be 3 or 4 months before the actual date of the exhibition. People think that it's also just going into the gallery and hanging the pictures. As Yaoling can tell you, it's not that way. It's not that way. You need to think of a curatorial text. You need to think, if you have an idea of an exhibition of a curator, it's not select pieces and hang them. It's a lot more work. You say, our alchemist, well, I'm going to find 6-7 artists that share this idea with me, you know, and that's why you choose those artists. You don't choose. It's not the other way around. No, it's not a. That's why you have a text. That's why you have a discourse, as the curator does around that show.
Yeah, Yaoling, I want to ask a question, because for a lot of people, art is still seen as a luxury kind of undertaking, right? In some places, I'm talking within the Belizean context, and probably a big part of it would be because of the cost of materials to actually create your art. In a lot of other places, it comes from the angst, etc. We do more performing, and that's why I'm happy that you have the poetry, there as well. But as an artist, when you look at it, how do you get people to look at art differently, not as a leisure or a luxury, but probably as a part of life?
Okay. In order to answer your question, if you allow me to give me 1 minute to read the theme of my exhibition, then you will understand the whole things. All right?
I'll think about it.
Just okay. Yeah. Can I? May I?
Yes,
May I?
of
Quick.
course.
Yeah. Just a couple lines. Alchemist, which is the name of our exhibition. Alchemist is a visual expression of how to follow one's heart, no matter what obstacle may arrive. The artwork is a testament of persistence, combining color, shape, age, value, and fascination. Every artwork represents a story, as if a chapter in a novel. Each piece provides a lens into the artist's small world, while expanding the audience's view and perspective. Collectively, the exhibit is a meditation on love, and that which frightens, stuns, satisfies, and surprises us all at the same time. You explore the unknown, feelings, the little things that bring joy to life experience. Did I answer your question?
That was powerful.
Yeah, it does.
It's very complex. It's very complex. And I think based on everyone's different. So each individual understands differently. The same thing I put it right here, you see differently. And you can't ask everyone to see the same thing, because we have to respect that, especially art. And that's fascinating. It's very complex.
Yes.
Challenge also for artists themselves. So that's why I love it.
That's beautiful. I love art. That's one of my passions, and I think that your writing encapsulates.
Oh, I have to say
powerfully.
this. I have a lot of friends who work with me. Diego, thank you very much. She's helping in a really important way. This text is written by Melanie Price. I'm not very good with words. I ask help from friends, and she's one of them. She's excellent. Just love. That's why
She should write a book. Tell her I said she should write a book. Tell her to write a book.
She's so good. She's love it.
My final question was, artists tell a story. Even the Mayans, their temples and the art on it were telling stories. It's a way, as Ms. Price encapsulated in her writing just now, a way of talking about the fascinations, but also things that fear us, that we fear and shock us. Can you tell us, from your perspective, what story do you find over the years, or the time that you've been here, that the art that Belizeans have been producing have been telling to the world?
I think but from my point of view, I think the Belizeans are very, what I gather is that Belizeans are very proud of their country and their heritage and their customs. That is what I see in their art, especially in their music. I think they're very proud of their music, and especially here, it's not contaminated or influenced a lot by reggaeton, for example. You don't listen in that. In all of Latin America, even in Mexico, you have that a lot. Here in Belize, it's more the local music that you hear, or the local influences. A lot more Caribbean and not Central American. That is what I sense. And I think Belizeans are really proud of their country, of their of the beauty of their country too. A lot of artists are landscape artists. They paint a lot of animals. They paint their way of life. They paint their culture. Garifuna culture is also very well depicted in the artists here. Even contemporary art. They're in contemporary art also. Contemporary art not focuses on the Belizean problems too. from the particular to the extent to the wide problem. You know, they incorporate that, and the other way around too, because it could be that Belize is a little country tucked in Central America and the Caribbean, and nobody knows about it. But the artists try to export that around the world, and I think they're doing a great job. Recently, I think last year, one of the Belizean artists that I say hi, Katie Usher, was in London doing a residency. So she also went to California this year. So there are artists that are going outside Belize and sharing what Belize is.
My final question, and maybe Yaoling, you can jump in here as well. You know, considering yourself an artist is something that you have to come to terms with, right? A lot of people produce stuff but may not consider their work worthy of, you know, being called an artist or whatever. How do you get to that point? How, and I'm asking you as a person, how did you actually get to the point where you own and recognize that you are an artist?
Well, I prefer you say that you are a person and rather than artist. To me, we are the same. I'm just expressing my thought, my feeling through the pen or clay. But usually I don't really promote myself as an artist. I'm just doing what I love to do, what I have to do because I need it. And I need that to keep me balanced. And somehow it produced something beautiful. Maybe people like it, I don't know. But I need it. I need that work. It's not because I need to survive, as I need to do it in order to survive. It sounds serious, right?
It sounds kind of deep. That's why, that's why we're having this show this Thursday, so you can experience this.
I don't want.
What Yaoling is talking about.
I don't want to put myself, say, oh, I'm artist and this. No, I'm doing what I love to do. It's my passion, and I just love it. And I love to share with people who love the same way too. Yes.
All right. So what time does it open and how long will it run?
7 p.m. Thursday the 29th.
Open to the public?
Open to the public. All of our events, that's also, I want to highlight, all of the events this month at the Institute and every time are free to the public. Just show up. You have to have a little bit of drinks, music.
You have to say that part a little louder.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right? Just show up, there's drinks and some food.
No, please
good
look
behavior.
at the artwork, please.
Yes.
And have a conversation with the artist.
Artwork conversation.
That is the focus, please.
No, yeah, we want to encourage people to be at the Institute to experience this. You know, if even you haven't been into an art gallery, it's not out there. It's down here. It's for everybody. It's open to the public. It's free. We want to just people to share those experiences and celebrate with us the 25th anniversary of the Mexican Cultural Institute. Celebrate with Belizean artists. This Thursday and Friday. These are our two last events. So we invite everybody to be there between 6. The doors open at 6:30. So be there early. Share, have fun, family. Everybody is invited.
Right. And you get to meet all 7 artists. Will be there?
Yes. Yes, you have to come. And don't forget the deal we were talking about.
We have a deal. We're sticking to
that. I take it seriously.
Well, thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
The exhibition. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come up, we'll be joined by representatives from Institute-Belize. Don't go anywhere. Open Your Eyes returns after these messages.